Welcome to another obligatory 10 things I want for 3.28 video from a streamer whose opinion you probably don't really care about, but let's hop in. First one, I really want a stash button for Faustus. Currently, it is possible to open your stash and Faustus at the same time, but it requires a little bit of a trick, and most people don't know about this. The reason that this is so important is that being able to liquidate your currency quickly and easily actually helps you generate currency much more quickly. I released a whole video on this last league. The reason that most new players often feel like they're broke when in reality they aren't isn't because they're necessarily being extremely inefficient, but it's more because they just don't know how to liquidate their currency. The way you can do this at the moment is if you place your stash next to Faustus and then time it just right, you can click your stash and Faustus at the same time, open up the currency exchange, open up your stash, and then you can quickly compare prices by control clicking. So even though this seems like it might just be a quality of life improvement, I think it's much more than that. It's actually a way to allow players to liquidate, and it provides a huge advantage currently if you know how to do it and if you don't. The next one, and this is deeply personal, GGG Please, leave Kinetic Fusillade alone. It hasn't done anything to anyone. Not many people are playing it, but other people have finally started cottoning on, and it is more popular in Mirage League, but it doesn't deserve a nerf. Just leave it. This is one of the coolest, most interesting skills that you put in the game recently, and if it survives, it is going to be very popular next league, but without grafts, I don't think that is in a spot that is considered overpowered. It's in a good spot. Just leave it, please. At least one more league with Kinetic Fusillade. But moving on from that, another thing is a general request, which is to please stop removing things from the game without adding things. It feels like for the last several leagues, things just get taken out and then nothing is added in to replace it. So the game is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. If you're going to remove, let's say 10 strategies like they did previously with the Abyss strat that they removed, and then the Giant Exiles, which removed 2 strategies, which was farming the Giant Exiles and then the players who actually use those Giant Exiles, put something back in the game. Because if you just keep stripping back, we're going to be left with very little to do in the game. The end game is very important. We need to have things to do, and if you keep cutting back, it's just not fun. It's not good for the game. I presume that this league we are going to be getting a whole lot of new endgame stuff, so I'm hopeful on that front, but I'm really sick of this kind of cat and mouse style balance that seems to be happening lately, where it's players discover something and then the devs say, oh, you're not meant to do that, let's get rid of it. I don't understand this balance mentality. If they could explain it, that'd be great, but I don't think it's great for the game, so please, not in 3.28. And while we're on the topic of endgame, new Scarabs or reworked old Scarabs. Currently, there are a significant number of Scarabs that just are not good, they're not used, so having those reworked into something that are actually useful would be magnificent. On top of that, if there are some new Atlas points or reworked points on the Atlas tree, that would be really refreshing for the endgame. I'm really hoping that 3.28 is going to breathe new life into the endgame. Think about 3.26. That was so much fun, so many things to do. 3.27 felt very stripped back. So if we can get back to that point where it's, I don't know what I'm going to farm today, but I've got about a dozen strategies that I could do, that's the kind of Path of Exile I like. Now, another reason that the endgame felt so shallow last league was the Breach Tree. The Breach Tree, far too powerful. It invalidated several other strategies. I know that people like having powerful gear early on or very cheap on trade, but the thing is that if you have one thing that does the same thing that 10 other things do, or even better than any of those things do, people are not going to do those things. Harbinger was made worse because fracturing orbs were devalued because the tree was printing good fractured items. Essences were devalued because why would you use them when you can use the tree? Of course, there were still instances where essences and fractures were very useful, but very much fewer than previously. Same thing with fossils, rod crafting. Having one thing in the game that is just too strong like that, I don't think it's good for the game. I understand why people want to keep it, but I think as a whole, having less to do in the game isn't a good thing. Presumably the tree, though, it is going to be nerfed, and it's probably going to be nerfed quite hard. They're either going to numerically nerf it by reducing the multipliers on the more and less. Alternatively, what they could do is make womb gifts less common. If Graft Blood is still in the game, maybe the costs are going to be higher. So there's a lot of ways they are going to nerf it, and and I presume it will be. This only goes for the provisioning side, the one that makes equipment, whereas I think the currency and the Fileborn one are still fine. That being said, there are too many things in the game currently that are boring chores required to get loot. King's March is a hot topic this league. I don't think many people like it. If I need to do something tedious and boring and then scroll through some badly designed UIs in order to get loot, I'm not having fun. It usually happens about a week into the league where I realize I haven't set up my King's March, I really need to do it, and then begrudgingly I will go there, do all the things, buy all the guys, set up my thing, and then great. Now what I have to do is every day I need to now go put maps into the map thing of 3 things, go to bed, wake up, check my mappers. One of them is inevitably captured by some incredibly weak boss. If that doesn't happen, the good news is I now get to click through 12 ritual windows for loot. And I don't like that. No one likes that. We don't want to click through ritual windows to get loot. We want to get loot from monsters. The tree is the same thing, where instead of the monsters dropping the thing, we have to get the womb gift, we have to farm the graft blood, we have to go to the tree, we have to click all the things, we have to click a button and then click another button, and then you get the loot. My friend Guitaraholic describes this as the gotchification of loot. There's also the video from Snap, which is fantastic, but forcing players to do tedious chore-like things in order to get loot just sucks, especially when the base game loot is so poor right now. Ground loot, another hot topic, that really needs to be addressed, and I'm really hoping that future leagues are less chore-like. An idea I had for Breach that I think would be a lot more fun. Instead of getting the womb gift, taking it to the tree, realizing you don't have enough graft blood, going back to farm, going back to the tree, realizing you don't have the right womb gift, going on the trade, buying it, and coming back, why not have the tree as a set and forget type mechanic, where you set up, let's say, the unique Fileborn side, and then it says, when you kill a unique monster in a breach, it has a, 50% chance to drop an item with these modifiers. That way you are still getting that targeted loot, but you're still getting the drop from the monster in the breach rather than from the tree. Same thing for the equipment side of the tree. It could be something like killing a rare monster in a breach has a 1% chance to drop an item with these modifiers. I think that's much more engaging. You're excited when you see a breach. You're excited when you see that item fall on the ground, rather than thinking, cool, I need to go to the trade site, buy this, then I can go to the tree. Oh, I don't have enough graft blood. It's so boring. Please get rid of that kind of stuff. And lastly, don't know if it's just me, but I had terrible performance last league. Load screens that would last for minutes, constantly having to Alt F4 out. I know that this isn't a problem that affected everyone, but there have been plenty of people who have also been struggling with this. I've tried a lot of different things, swapping to DirectX instead of Vulkan, doing all these adjustments with the renderer. I have a really good computer at this point, and it is a bit frustrating having to fiddle and tweak knobs and adjust renderers and go into settings to try and just get the game to work perfectly. I don't know what happened between 3.26 and 3.27. If you've been having similar problems, let me know, but hopefully we can get some performance improvements in 3.28. Anyway, that's it. That's my list. I'm sure there are about 5 million other things. Let me know what you are looking forward to in 3.28 Mirage League. If Kinetic Fusillade doesn't get nerfed, I will be playing it. If it does, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll probably play the hammer thing that will inevitably get nerfed after ZGG's video comes out. But that's going to be it. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Catch you in the next one, and bye-bye.